Hi, everybody. I am back. I will be wrapping up today. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone had a great beginning of the week. Um, I will be wrapping up the 10-day steps to a more easier, non toxic, and natural lifestyle. To those of you that don't know me, my name is Nicole, and I have been uh, taking this journey with my family for a little bit over 6 years now. Um, it's been like an off and on thing. So yes, it's not an easy process, especially when you're taught differently. But me and my family have been doing transitioning or trying to incorporate a more natural, non-toxic, like try to do an 80-20. We're trying to work up to a 80% natural, 20% other stuff, So yeah, we've been doing a little bit over 6 years now. And um I have been the owner of Nicolette Holistic Coaching for a little bit over, it's going a little bit over a year now. And what I do, I coach other moms. I talk to other moms and show them and coach them on ways to begin to start, and you have to and it's more than just starting. You have to know what you're doing. And I'm not saying that it's a hard task, or it's a big issue. I'm not saying that, but you wanna have that information. You wanna know why you should swap out these products, why you should not use these chemicals in your household. So that's what I do. I'm there to help moms, busy moms, stay at home moms, moms who want to work from home. I help any mom that is interested and that is ready to take the next step in protecting her and her family's health and environment, by making sure that the environment that they dwell in, if they're not at school, at work, this is your other half, your first half. This is where you reside in for 20 hours of the day. So you want to be in a clean, non-toxic atmosphere. You want to be able to breathe in fresh air. um, what we're going to do today, because I did say we were going to sum up. Hi, Tyriana. Love you, babes. What we're going to do, we're going to sum up basically what we went over last week and some of this week. Because the last couple of steps are basically, they're like, we talked about some of them, just some of them, for the most part. But the rest I feel that I can include in this wrap up. So again, we're going to go over what we did last week, which were the first, I think it was the first 6 or first 5 steps. So yeah, one moment, I'm sorry. This tea is like just like I'm. I'll be front if I'm gonna drink. I love really hot tea. I love really hot coffee. I drink it and whatever. I just love. But this right here, this like the water's still bubbling. So that's kind of hot. I'm not gonna even front and act like I'm drinking this hot tea. Don't y'all see the smoke coming out? But anyway, I'm gonna put this down here. Ooh, Jesus, that is real hot. Okay, so anyway, step one into transitioning into a more natural and non-toxic lifestyle, and I am going to try to be uh, less long-winded when I'm going over these steps, so that they won't sound too repetitive to you guys. But this is some new information to those who weren't able to catch it, but I'm just going to give a couple of highlights of what we went over. But you would get a whole lot of more information just by going back and watching the first couple of steps that we did on last week. So step one, what we did, we went over cleaning up all of our cosmetics, and we learned how to recognize the ingredient labels, the recognizable ingredients versus the unrecognizable ingredients, meaning, the recognizable ingredients being ingredients that you can spell, that you can pronounce, and that's also safe and chemical free, versus unrecognizable labels or ingredients that pertain words that you have to words that contain like 3 to 4 letter abbreviations. We also talked about removing products that contain chemicals such as triclosan, which it acts as an antimicrobial agent. But the concerns of this chemical is it's a thyroid disruptor, and is also messes with your hormones, hormonal imbalance, uh, bacteria resistance development and stuff. And it's found in products such as, any oral products, shaving creams, and cosmetics that have colors. And another chemical that we talked about removing to be out on the look for was paraben, which is a preservative, and it's also known as a hormonal disruptor. And it's found in all our makeups and shampoos, and also in conditioners, and a lot of other products that we use. Another chemical to look out for that we talked about last week was, I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I can't even remember all the consonants and stuff that's in it, but I do know that the short word for it is DBP. But thiolates, that's the name of the chemical, but the short word for it is DBP. I'm sorry, but that's one of the chemicals that's included in the fragrance, in the fragrant ingredients, additional fragrance that's added to these products as well. So again, we're looking out for triclosan, we're looking out for parabens, and we're looking out for phthalates. I think I said it right. So that's what we went over with cleaning up our products in step one, at the beginning of last two. Step two, we talk more about cleaning, eating clean, going through our meat produce, our vegetables and things that sort. We learned that when we're looking for our meats, when we're choosing our meats, when trying to go natural or organic, we know that if we're looking for organic, we're looking for organic meat, meaning that anything that animal consume, or meaning that that animal can have additional colorants, additional products, and added to the final process. So we do know organic means that there are additional products can be included, additional colorants can be included. We know that naturally, I'm sorry, not naturally. We know that all natural means an animal can receive growth hormones or antibiotics from the farmer or wherever they're being raised. So all natural means simply that that animal can be given hormones or additional growth hormones and things. And then we have naturally raised. We also learned that when we're looking for naturally raised meat, we're looking for meat that basically is raised. It doesn't contain any artificial ingredients, um, any additional spices, marinades, or anything. No chemical ingredients, none whatsoever. So we have organic. We talked about naturally raised, and we talked about natural when it comes to choosing our meats. We also talked about choosing a certain meat to fit into your budget to hold you throughout the week, to make sure, because when you're trying to feed a family of whatever size, but you're trying to make this food last for weeks at a time, with to feed your family, you want to buy your meat in bulk. You want to pick one specific meat. Like I gave an example, like I chose chicken breast. You could make all kinds of dishes with chicken breast, to take up some of the cost of buying all of this meat. Because my next move with me doing that is to cut down on meat, in which I'm already incorporating. So versus us eating three, four, maybe five, depending on how big or small they are, pieces of wings at dinner time, you know, we're going to fill up more on vegetables and other nutrients and stuff that we need, and have less, and replace some of the meat with other proteins, and break that five down to maybe like two pieces or something, per person. But yes, I chose breast meat to use as my sample, as the meat over all meats, if I had to stock up on meat. Um, so those were some of the things we talked about last week with cleaning out the produce. We want to check for the ones that's eating meat. Let me go back just a little bit. For the people that eat meat, you want to look for your lean meats, and choose whether or not you want organic, naturally raised, or just natural. And we just went over which each one of those mean. And if you didn't catch that, if you're just coming in, you can just go back and watch the other videos with what we talked about when we cleaned out our meat and produce. Okay, that was step two. So step three, we talked about laundry routine, and I asked the question. A lot of people like, well, what does doing laundry has to do? What does natural has to do with laundry? So the detergent that you use, the bleach that you use, chemicals, chemical reaction, a lot of things like that. So when we talked about the laundry detergent, all of these different fragrance scents. We talked about these scents containing what you call VOCs, and VOCs are they're volatile organic compounds. And when you're dryer vents, at all of these compounds, I was right. Dryer vents can emit more than 25 VOCs. Or if you're using scented laundry detergent, dryer sheets, they use, wait, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, seven of those VOCs are hazardous and pollutants. So they contain 25 VOCs, and seven of those VOCs are hazardous. And we're talking about in our detergents and in our fabric softeners, these fragrance, in our perfumes, in our lotions, and our shampoos, a lot of things that we put on our body. So we talked about the VOCs in the fragrance that we're using, and we basically wanted to focus on something more plant-based like. And the only thing, like I said, that I was able to think of when I was making my own product, cleaning products or air freshener, I was thinking of, hey, essential oils. So a lot of people don't know about essential oils. So I ran out, went to Walmart, grabbed a box of, I grabbed actually two. And it didn't dawn on me until I got home and I started mixing my stuff up, using it and everything. And don't get me wrong, I did use it before I realized and thought about the essential oil part. I'm like, oh, damn, wait a minute. I just thought about it. That box of essential oils I just bought from Walmart was like, psh, $30, and it had maybe maybe five, six, seven bottles of oils, basic oils. So the oil smelled good, but I'm like, are the I'm thinking like the smell is not lasting. It's there in the beginning, but as you're using it, it's starting to fade. So I'm thinking at the same time, I'm like, let me get on here and see, did I get the right oil? So anyway, I learned about the oils. So I stopped right away using the oils. I tossed that body wash that I created. I tossed it out. Didn't want to keep using it because I learned more about the oils and I learned more about how to use the oils. So boom, recreated my own product. Uh, Boom, got a house full of boys, like to run around, sweaty socks, spray, 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 spray. I created my own air freshener. You know what I'm saying? You use essential oil of your choice, depending on the mood you're in or what you got to take smell for, however you want to put it. Um, and you add it to some water and with some baking soda. Those were some of the things, some of the other things we learned to use. We learned how to incorporate. Um, mm, we learned how to incorporate more natural products. I'm getting too frantic, y'all. We learned how to incorporate more natural products into homemade products. And I hope I said that right because I just had a brain fart. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. So yes, we want to eliminate all of these products with these fragrances that have these chemical fragrances, all of these VOCs, harmful chemicals. So yes, so that was with the laundry routine, which was step 3. So we want to get rid of all the VOCs and we want to add some essential oils. And if you do not know how to use essential oils, please comment below. Just let me know. I want to know, and I will hit you up and let you know personally. I will let you know personally about the essential oils and how to use them. So that's one way of adding more natural fragrance. Because we learn, and so we learn where the essential oils came from. I'm gonna back up because we want to know what they are, and that was the reason why me saying that story, as far as me not knowing about the oils that I bought from Walmart. So we want to know more about the oils that we buy, and why it's important to use these oils. So I kind of like killed two birds with one stone. Y'all probably didn't catch that. I was talking about the laundry, and then I end up spilling over. But if y'all didn't catch it, I'm not going to even spoil it. So, but anyway, yes. So now step 4. Step 4, we talked about reducing the consumption of processed cooking oils. Yes. So with that, we talked about removing canola oil, which was used for industrial purposes, and it contains traces amounts of uh, euclid acid. I think I said that right. And when they put it in the products we use, they put an amount up to 2%, which is considered safe. So we want to remove canola oil. We want to remove cottonseed. We want to remove soybean. We want to remove all these. Now, these oils contain some of these oils do contain the 6 fatty acids, but because they do contain such large amounts of fatty acid, um, we use it to cook our food that already has additional preservatives and additional oils already in it. So when we cook them in these oils, now we get an overabundance of fat. So now we faced with heart disease. We faced with inflammation of whatever flaring up you know from this oil. So we want to get rid of those. So we're going to replace these toxic oils with oils such as flaxseed. We're going to replace the oil. We can use coconut oil. You want to get coconut oil cold pressed or unrefined. Same thing with virgin sesame oil and olive oil cold pressed. So those are some of the oils you can replace these other 6 fatty oils with to reduce some of the processed oil consumption. So that's what we went over for steps 4. Step 5, moving right along. And I hope you guys, I'm not going too fast for you. I just want to run through what we talked about in order and just get this information out to you guys, because I know some of you guys probably looking like, yes, I want to do this, just haven't had the time, just don't know how, don't know where to start. Well, this is a start for you guys. So let's get it cracking. Okay, so step 5, we talked about the fragrance again, like with the detergent. We want to be careful with artificial fragrances that we use and try to use a more plant-based natural fragrance, which, like I said, I can't think of anything but essential oils. And why should we use essential oils to use in our household? Well, good question. We know that we talked about essential oils being an all natural compound, and that the compound is found in the root. It could be found in the leaf or the bark of the plant. We also talked about how essential oils have antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and a couple of other antis, antifungal. They have these properties, agents, and these property agents have a lot of benefits. They do a lot of good to the body, like kill bacteria, prevent ringworms in kids. We using it. We help it stop the pain, the inflammation of whatever's hurting on you. So that's another good reason to incorporate these oils in your cleaning products or your beauty products or just your well-being. Period. So that's another good reason why we want to incorporate these oils in our household. If we want to smell good or just want our houses, smelling good and giving us um, changing our moods, relieving stress, things of that sort. So some of the oils that I named that's good for using around the house scented wise, depending, like I said, if you want to come home and just relax to some lavender. We all know lavender is a stress reliever. You know, you may want to make make up a concoction of your own essential oil blend, but you just don't know how to mix it and how much to use and which ones to blend together and which ones not to blend. So we talked about a lot of things regarding essential oils, and I also just let everyone know to let me know, because that's a whole totally different story, and which would take a whole nother 45 minutes, which I'm not about to do. So if you're interested and want to know more about them, hit me up and I will talk to you. So yes, and I did give you an example of some ingredients you can use to make your own spray bottle or all-purpose cleaner. We're using natural products like vinegar, white vinegar, lemon, the lemon juice, or better yet, the actual lemon itself, because it's more acidity. And you can use key limes too, because they are more acidity than lemons. So we working with food products, y'all. Same stuff that you're ingesting. I think I said that right. You can clean your house with. If you trust it enough to satisfy your stomach, your gut, your insides. If you're satisfied enough for this food to satisfy your inside, you should be satisfied enough for it to, disinfect your house. Because of the properties that these oils or fruits and vegetables or whatever you're using have. So we talked about a couple of products, and we talked about good sugar, bad sugar, what sugar to use, which was in, I think, step 6, which was refined sugars. So yeah, we moving right along. I think this was like the last one we talked about. So yeah, we talked about good sugars, and we talked about good sugar versus bad sugar. We all know that there's two types of sugars. We talked about added sugars, and then we talked about added sugar, which is the table sugar, which we call table sugar. I'm sorry. And then we talk about the added sugar. I'm sorry, and the sugar, the unrefined carbs, which is foods such as foods such as fruit and vegetables that produce their own sugars naturally. So that's the difference between good and bad sugar. So when you add additional sugar to these unrefined carbs, which are called whole foods, then that's when the weight gaining come in. That's when the high blood pressure come in from all this sugar. So we're talking about added sugar to already um, whole unrefined carbs. I hope you caught that. So that's what we talked about regarding good sugar, bad sugar, and we talked about what we can replace the sugars with, and how. And we talked about that sugar comes in many, many, many names: sucrose, mucrose, dextrose, fructose, all of that. Yes, bad. Get rid of it. So all of that long list of bad sugar names, all you have to do is replace them with like 4 to 5 items, if that many, which is you have maple corn syrup. I'm sorry, maple syrup. Then you have liquid agave. Then you have your coconut sugar, and you have raw honey. That was it. Yes, raw honey. So those will be the natural sugars that you will replace all of those other bad sugars with. And other names are called cane. You know, you have cane syrup, you have cane juice, you have corn syrup. So yes, all of these syrups and fructoses and all of these oses we want to get rid of. So the last thing we talked about when we were talking about the bad sugars, I gave you all a little tip what can knock those sugar cravings. Again, we're going to utilize our essential oils, and you can use an essential oil such as grapefruit, which is citrusy, combined with a lemon oil. If you use those properly, it'll help with that sweet tooth. And also, if you use peppermint oil correctly, it'll also help curb your appetite. So those are two oils you can incorporate when you want to get away from these sugars, and it works. So that was step 6. And so the rest of the steps are basically we basically switching out we already talked about switching out our cleaning products. So basically we want to reduce garbage. How they have the garbage blue cans, the recycling. And then you want to phase out plastic. So we want to use stainless steel or glass containers when storing, especially when storing food. So I don't know. It's hard. And I know it can be hard when in your neighborhood stores all they have is this plastic stuff. All of that. You see the foods that getting up in it. So yeah, we want to start eliminating all the plastic and start using more stainless steel and glassware. And when you do buy glassware, you want to buy BPA free glass or containers. We also talk. Another step was to replace your cookware, and that makes a big difference because I noticed coming up, we're taught when we're cooking, we use a metal fork with these metal pans and metal pots and steel pans and steel. So we got steel scraping on steel or steel scraping on metal or whatever, but it's scraping. And whatever chemicals and food neutrons and all of the stuff that they put in these pans and pots to make them non-stick or whatever it does to do its magic, we're scraping it up when we're cooking, because the oil is already getting down in the grooves. You know what I'm saying? So you want when you're using metal pans or steel pans, you want to cook with wood utensils, and you want to use the what is that? You want to use the rubber. I forgot what it's called, but you want to use the rubber utensils also. So and they have rubber cake pans as well. If you don't want to keep using those cake pans that rust up, and they even smell in the cake. Yes. So get rid of this, if you can get rid of those bad pots and pans that burns easily, that's thinning out, scraping, turning color, all of that, you want to switch them out. Get you some pyro glass, pyrotex flex. You get what I'm saying. But get you some glass dishes, get you some cast iron. So yes, switch out the cookware with those. So so those were some of the steps that we want to take in moving forward to a more non-toxic lifestyle. We will be removing. We use up to, well, when we're using these products, we're you on a daily basis. We're using a lot of synthetic chemicals on our bodies daily, synthetic chemicals daily. So we can imagine why we're getting sick. It shouldn't be a question, why are we sick? I don't have a virus. I didn't do anything. Well, you don't know what you've been exposed to. You don't know what you've been putting on. You know what you've been putting on your body, but you don't know what was in what you was putting on your body. So we just keep going. So when you reduce some of the chemicals, um, by getting rid of some of these products, you getting rid of hundreds in your body, hundreds of times. So all of this and clean your house and all of this detoxing that we're doing to our bodies, that's fine, but it's only a temporary fix, because when we finish detoxing, we go right back to putting toxins on our skin and in our mouths. So that's just blew the detox out, or whatever health activity that you're trying to do. It goes out the window. It's just basically a front, or just a for nothing, or okay, I tried, but I'm going back to this. So I'm not saying that you just have to stick with a healthy thing. I'm just saying you want to incorporate it a lot more, be health conscious. So I just want you all to remember, do not stress about making all of these changes overnight. With every food, every product that you switch out, you taking one step closer. So it's a start, and that's what we want. We want to recognize, and we want to uh, attack, if that's what you want to call it. We want to take action. It's one more step toward living a less and more natural, a less toxic lifestyle, and a more natural lifestyle. So each focus is a small improvement. And to make sure when you're looking at your labels on your products, when you're looking for organic, natural, or naturally raised, or of that sort, um, you want to, when you're looking at the produce, you want to look at the produce itself, and you want to look at the number that's on the label. And if that label has a 4, if it starts with a 4, it's not organic. If it starts with a 9, it's organic. Now, sometimes they switch this stuff up a lot, so you have to like really, really pay attention and everything. So you just want to make sure that you're checking your labels. You want to make sure you when you make a list, take that list with you, because you have specifics on there. You want to stick with it. I know it's hard to stick with it, but we want to try to stick with it. And just pick a starting point. Bring some plants in the house to freshen up the air, to clean the air. We all know plants itself purifies the air. So bring more plants in. Some people, become buddy buddy with plants. Hey, to each his own. Nothing wrong with them. That plant keep me alive. I'll be buddy buddy with a plant too, if you keeping me alive or helping me breathe more fresh air and less chemicals. So another thing, real quick, and we're gonna wrap it up. I Thanks to my husband, we do not use the microwave anymore. Whoo, child, it takes some getting used to. It takes some getting used to. But I had to go back in them day before the microwave came out. Like, y'all better throw that shit in the oven, warm it up on the top of the stove in a cast iron. Get your Dutch oven, one of them Dutch oven cast iron pots, and you can put it in the oven to heat up the food, or heat it up on top of the stove. But yes, we got rid of the microwave. We've gotten used to it, but it be times, man. It's just certain things. It's just hard to reheat in the stove or on top of the stove. But If you want it and you hungry, you'll make it work. So that was another thing that we got rid of. We got rid of the microwave. You know, we haven't had a microwave in a year. Actually, it's been about a year and a half. It's been a little bit over a year. But we are learning to cope. It is what it is, y'all. So that is all I have for you guys today. I really, really thank you guys who are visiting me live. I really thank you all for listening to me. And if you are looking to play, please just say replay in the comment. So, again, thank you for joining me for the 10-day step to a more natural and non toxic lifestyle. And I look forward to sharing more information with you guys. Have a great day. Cheerio.